mean, obviously I'm smarter than I was my freshman year. You know, I'd never take a day off, never. You know, trying to work smarter, not harder now, and you know, just get in and get out. You know, still try to just be more efficient, I guess, and you know, still try to rest. You know, rest is a weapon at this point, and you know, with the competitiveness of each and every Big 12 game, you know, 2 times a week, you know, rest is just as important as anything else at this point.
Have you experimented with how many shots you need to take outside practice to feel like you're in rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to cut that down a little bit this year, and especially as the Big 12's gone on. You know, just like I said, kind of be more efficient, just shoot more of the game shots that I'm getting in the game, and not trying to, you know, sit out here for an hour, hour and a half, you know, 2 hours like I would in the past. And so, you know, I'm getting more minutes than I have ever here before. And so in the Big 12 is probably tougher than it ever has been before since I've been here. So, you know, everything, all those little things add up right now. And so, you know, we still have a lot of games to be played, and so I just have to be smart with my body.
For most of us, being lazy is a lot easier than what you're trying to do, cut back, because you're a gym rat.
Right. You know, it is different, but at the same time, you know, you have to be smart. You know, you know, the trainers are trying to tell me to back off a little bit, and just whether it's ice baths every time after practice, every game, you know, all that little stuff just adds up. And you know, for me, it isn't always the easiest because I'm not quite used to it, but at the same time, I have to try to work smarter and not harder at this point.
How much do you think was emotional in that? Because it's emotional when you go to Allen Fieldhouse.
Yeah, it is.
That adds to that, and it's probably going to be emotional in the Lloyd Noble on Saturday.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I mean, just for me, KU was, you know, my dream school growing up, so they think that's part of it, what caused it. And so I honestly try to relax more and just try to, you know, take deep breaths and just, you know, I just get so into the game, and sometimes, you know, I just get so worked up and just my competitiveness just comes out, and I honestly try to relax, you know, just have fun, enjoy it, and, you know, just really try to relax and not take it so serious sometimes.
Phil, you guys lost 2 guys off this squad, as you well know, that are now in the NBA. But yet here you guys sit 4 games into the Big 12 play, and I think you're impressing some people. What do you attribute the good play that this team's had so far to?
I mean, right now we've only played 4 Big 12 games, so, you know, we're 2-2. I mean, we feel like we should have a little better record than what we have, and but, you know, we still have a lot of games to be played. The season's far from over. One thing I've learned last year is you can go from being a top 10 team to, you know, people talking you're barely going to make the tournament. And so, you know, just you have to respond to a loss. You know, you can't let it drag on, and you can't let it, you know, affect you the next couple of games. And so, you know, but this team, we just have a competitiveness, a chippiness about us, and, you know, we're just trying to move on to Oklahoma now. We lost at KU, but that's whoever we're playing, whether it's Texas Tech, whether it's Iowa State, doesn't matter. You have to have that one game at a time mentality, especially in this conference.
Every year is different because it's different personnel at the college level, obviously. How is this team different than teams you've been on the last couple of years?
I just think we're real unselfish. I mean, we may not win every game, but I don't think, you know, playing hard or selfishness will ever be a problem, and we just want to win. You know, I just think we just want to win, whether it's, you know, scoring 80 points, 60 points, you know, whoever's got the hot hand, we're trying to find them. And we're just going to try to scratch and claw our way to a win. We don't really care how we do it. It may not be the prettiest sometimes, but that's all we really do. We just want to win. We don't really care how we get it done.
Where does that come from? Is that internally you guys decided? Is that coaches? Is that a combination?
I think it's both. You know, obviously the coaches, and they kind of instill that in us, but I think it's the personality of the team. You know, a lot of the new guys that we got, that's just kind of how they are. You know, they like to win. They won in high school. And, you know, last year, the guys that were here didn't really go down, you know, the way we wanted to. So I think everybody kind of has something to prove in their own way. Yeah. And I think that's kind of, you know, going well for the team right now.
You had an interesting answer about the unselfishness. Do you find yourself, because this team needs somebody to join you and LB on a lot of nights putting the ball in the basket, you find yourself saying, hey, Tavares, Jeff, whoever, hey, go ahead, shoot the basketball, get going.
No, for sure. You know, team, if I miss, you know, 2, 3, 4 in a row, they're telling me to shoot it. You know, it's a good shot. So same thing for them. If they miss 2 or 3 in a row, we're telling them to keep shooting it. We've seen them make it before. You know, Jeff and Shine, and, you know, certain guys have stepped up and hit big shots for us at certain times. And so we know what they're capable of. And so whether they miss a couple, that shouldn't matter. You know, if it's an open shot, take it. You know, we know you can make it. And so I think that's how everyone kind of treats everyone. If it's an open shot and a shot you can make, take it without hesitation. I think that kind of helps everybody out with their confidence on this team.
Phil, what are your reflections on your 2 games in Norman?
I mean, obviously we lost, so that's something that hopefully we can change. You know, it's just going to be very physical, intense. You know, both years OU's come out, played very, very well against us. And, you know, it's a tough place to play. You know, it's a rivalry game. It's Bedlam. Everyone knows what that means. And so at this point, if you can't really get up and, you know, play at the level that's going to take the win, you know, I don't think we've won there in, 10, 11 years or something like that. And so obviously it's a tough place to play. And, you know, we have to match their intensity. You know, they've come out, they play really aggressive, really fast and physical style of play, so we have to try to match that.
And when you guys have lost this season, South Carolina and Iowa State, you've come back the next game with some strong performances. Do you like the way this team, you know, when you lose a game, how you guys come back focused in practice the following week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, when you lose, it kind of grabs your attention a little more, and you pay attention to the details, and you watch the film and you learn from it, and then move on. And so I think we're trying to learn from the games that we've lost, and you know, move it on to practice, and then carry it over to the game. And I think that's something that, you know, we're going to continue to try to get better at as the season goes on.
When you watched the Kansas tape, did you kind of learn anything that you didn't necessarily realize after the game?
You know, we need to quit fouling. I mean, we fouled them a lot. And just, you know, I mean, we just didn't make some plays down the stretch. We were in that game, had some opportunities, and we just didn't take advantage of them. And so, you know, at this level, when you have a chance to, you know, narrow a lead down or come back, especially on the road, you have to take them. You know, you can't just take them for granted. And so I think that's something we kind of learned, is you can't leave any opportunities out there on the table.
You talked earlier about the fact that you guys do have some new faces, guys that are playing roles that they've never played before. And I assume with a team like that, coaching staff may have to approach things differently. Are Travis and the assistants, are they, I mean, have they sort of taken any different tact? Are you seeing them, you know, address things any different with you guys to get you, like you say, to play that unselfish style and some of those things?
Yeah, they've definitely from day one kind of told us that's how we're going to have to play, and just play together and try to play harder than every team that we can, because, you know, we don't have the most talented team out there, but, you know, that's not always what wins games. It's the 5 guys that play the best together. So, you know, we're just going to have to try to go out there and play harder than, you know, most teams, and just play together. And if we do those 2 things, at the end of the day, the scoreboard will reflect that. And so those are 2 things we try to focus on every game.
Do you think this team is, I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like this team is responding to that message and doing that. Is that sort of been your impression as well?
Yeah, I think so. We kind of know that too. We know that, you know, we look around at some of the talent the Big 12 has, and we may not, you know, guy for guy be able to match up. So, but we know as a 5 guys and whoever's on the court, if we come together, that we can compete against anyone. And so that's kind of the mentality we've had. The coaches have kind of instilled that in us in day one, and we've tried to buy in as much as we can.
So the change has been, well, maybe even not change, but it's been a mental approach more than, say, an X's and O's change. I mean, obviously you don't have the same, I mean,
Right.
you don't have Markel, you don't have Marcus, but, I mean, so I get that, but it sounds like as much as anything it's been a sort of a mental
Yeah, I mean, we have to play different. I mean, we can't just, you know, we have to move the ball better. You know, we don't have guys and just be, okay, Marcus, go score, Markel, go score. And so, obviously, when you lose those guys, you have to play a little differently. Your mentality will change. The way that you move the ball in offense will change. And I think we've adjusted to that pretty well so far.
Have you added